What's up, you guys? It's Steve here with your stimulus package update, and we've got some new details from over the weekend regarding the next package, and that is that we're expecting to see some of this unveiled this Wednesday, and we've got a lot of details. I've got video footage and some articles for you regarding this package and what they're saying is expected to be included, as it will be broken into two separate parts now. So we're going to be discussing why they're doing this, what's going to be included. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest and when this all might be unfolding. So a lot of details coming out about this next package, potential checks included, potential provisions that can help us out during this pandemic. So you guys, I'm going to dive right in. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest as of today, Monday, March the 29th, 2021. But before I do, if you could do me a quick favor, it'll just take a second. If you like and appreciate these video updates, be sure to smash the like button. I would appreciate it. Leave a comment and share this video out on social media platforms if you find it helpful. That'll help out my channel a lot. Thank you so much. And if this is your first time here and you're not already part of the viewing community, what I like to call the RAM fam, and you like to join to stay up to date on stimulus, unemployment, Congress, the economy, anything having to do with investing or money, be sure to take a second to smash the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so that way as soon as I upload videos, you can get notified right away. And if you don't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram as well at SteveRam3, and consider joining the Patreon group if you like to get exclusive access to me and these articles before they hit YouTube. And always remember that here on YouTube, whenever I leave a comment, when I respond to your comments, you're going to see a gray stripe on the name. Now, if you don't see that, even if it looks like me, it's not me, because right now, unfortunately, there's a lot of scammers here on YouTube trying to pose as me, trying to steal your information. So please use caution if you see that. I'm not here to steal your information. I'm here to get you information. So with that being said, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to get you the latest information as of today regarding stimulus. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so let's take a look at this article and link in the description below if you'd like to follow along with me. And it says, Biden economic plan to focus first on infrastructure this week. And it says, President Joe Biden will lay out the first part of his multi-trillion-dollar economic recovery package this week, focusing on rebuilding roads, bridges, and other infrastructure, followed by a separate plan later in April addressing child and healthcare. So you guys, they're going to be taking the $3 trillion or $4 trillion stimulus package, and they are going to be breaking it up into two separate parts. And the second part will be released next month. Now it says, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki confirmed on Sunday that the administration's plan is to split the package into two legislative proposals, part of an effort to get support from congressional Republicans. But she adds that we'll work with the Senate and the House to see how it should move forward. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the video footage of what White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki actually had to say.
Finally, as we said at the top of the program, the president is going to lay out his the next part of his economic recovery program in a speech in Pittsburgh this week, including infrastructure, education, child care, a number of issues. Is that going to be just one huge bill, or is it going to be split up into two parts? And how big is the total price tag going to be?
Well, first, Chris, when the president advocated for the American Rescue Plan, he talked about this being two stages, rescue, then recovery. What the American people will hear from him this week is part of his plan, the first step of his plan toward recovery, which will include an investment in infrastructure. We shouldn't be 13th in the world. I don't think anyone believes that. The wealthiest, most innovative country in the world. And he's going to have more to say later in April about the second part of his recovery plan, which will include a number of the pieces you talked about. Healthcare, child care, addressing that. It's a crisis right now. The number of women who have left the workforce, he wants to help to address that. The total package we're still working out, but he's going to introduce some ways to pay for that, and he's eager to hear ideas from both parties as well.
So are we talking about two separate bills? And if so, just briefly, because we're out of time, is he hoping that infrastructure he can get passed with Republican votes, and then he sticks what we're hearing is going to be $2 trillion in tax cuts in the second package, and then pass that through reconciliation on a straight Democratic Party line vote?
Well, we're not quite at a legislative strategy yet, Chris, but I will say that I don't think Republicans in this country think we should be 13th in the world as it relates to infrastructure. Roads, railways, rebuilding them, that's not a partisan issue. That's a lot of what the president will talk about this Wednesday. Then he will have another package, another proposal that he will put forward in just a couple of weeks that will address a lot of issues that American people are struggling with, child care, the cost of health care. So that's what they can expect to hear from him in April.
But just to lock down, two separate bills, correct?
two separate proposals, and we'll work with the Senate and the House to see how it should move forward.
Well, there you guys have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And I thought that the question he asked was really good because it was, without a doubt, the first one that popped into my mind, which is, what is the strategy of breaking up the stimulus package into two parts? And we heard White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki respond and say they're not that far in negotiating the strategy, but they're going to be discussing with the House and the Senate how to progress forward. Well, without a doubt in my mind, breaking it up, there is some sort of strategy behind it. And my thoughts would be that what they're trying to do is trying to provide one part that they know they can muster Republican support and have it bipartisan and pass through Congress through the regular means, and maybe in a separate one, items they know will not get bagging, they're trying to get through the process of reconciliation. So breaking it up into two parts, also making it appear smaller and easier for people to handle than having a massive $3 or $4 trillion package. That's just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Now, reading on, the article says that Biden will release details in a speech Wednesday in Pittsburgh about his proposal for federal investments in physical infrastructure, an issue that has drawn Republican support despite wariness over the pricey package so soon after the package of $1.9 trillion in relief has passed. Now, Democrats, meanwhile, have been aiming for a broader package that could include policy changes on green energy, immigration, and other issues, as well as make permanent some of the just passed assistance such as the child tax credit. And we've heard this in several articles before, if you've been following my videos, that they're trying to make this permanent, and they're saying that this is the introduction of universal basic income, that permanently, without any limitations, indefinitely, people could receive monthly checks for being parents. And they're saying they're talking about introducing other forms of monthly checks indefinitely. Now, as more information rolls out, I'll be sure to keep you up to date. Know that I will keep you up to date on stimulus checks for sure. Now, reading on, it says, many are ready to bypass Republicans if they have to. And as we know, Democrats control both the House, the Senate, and the presidency. So as long as they can stay unified through the process of reconciliation, they can pretty much pass anything that they'd like. Now, in addition to providing infrastructure, extending out the child tax credit, and maybe even stimulus checks, we're hearing that this next bill could also provide free schooling. Take a look at this article that just came out, link in the description below if you'd like to follow along with me, and it says, White House prepares massive infrastructure bill with universal pre-K, free community college climate measures. The article says White House officials are preparing to present President Biden with a roughly $3 trillion infrastructure and jobs package that includes high-profile domestic policy priorities such as free community college and universal pre-kindergarten, according to three people familiar with the internal discussions. Now, although no final announcement has been made, the White House is expected to push a multi-trillion-dollar jobs and infrastructure plan as the centerpiece of President's Build Back Better agenda. Now, that effort is expected to be broken into two parts, as we discussed, one focused on infrastructure and the other focused on other domestic priorities, such as growing the newly expanded child tax credit for several years. Now, the people who spoke on the condition of anonymity to describe private conversations stressed that planning was preliminary and subject to change. Some aides said that the package's final price tag remains unclear, so they're saying they're still working on it, but one of the things that they're now discussing including is free schooling as well. And yesterday we heard of another item that might be included in this next bill as well. Take a look at this article, link in the description below. It says, Sanders pushes Medicare expansion in Dems' next big bill. And it says Bernie Sanders wants to make sweeping changes to Medicare and prescription drug policy and evade the filibuster to do it. And it says the Vermont Independent is urging Democrats to force Medicare to enter into negotiations with drug companies and use that revenue to pay for a huge expansion of the entitlement program. Sanders, who chairs the Senate Budget Committee, is aiming to lower Medicare's eligibility age from 65 to 55 or 60 years old and expand the program to cover dental work, glasses, and eye surgery, as well as hearing aids too. So here's another item that might get included in this infrastructure bill. And of course, those of you that follow me here on the channel already know that we're hearing a lot more about a potential fourth stimulus check being included in this next stimulus package. And here's an article that just came out yesterday, fourth stimulus check, will Biden and Congress give you another payment? And we're hearing that there's building support for this from the Democratic Party as well. So we'll see if this gets included. I've already done some videos covering the details for you. If you haven't seen it, be sure to check it out right here. Here's one that I just released with the latest details as to what they're currently proposing in not just just a forced stimulus check, but also potentially monthly checks rolling out. And also, if they have to pass this through the process of reconciliation, which is what we're hearing, they're saying they're willing to do it. And if that's the case, we might already have a timeline for when these checks might start as well. Now, to get the latest information on that, be sure to check out this video right here where I covered it in more detail also. And you guys, we're expecting a lot of information to come out on this package this week. As we heard, this Wednesday, President Joe Biden is going to be discussing it further. And know that as more information rolls out, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date here on the channel. Well, I hope this reaches you well. If you haven't already, be sure to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date, hit the notification bell to get notified right away. Follow me on Instagram at SteveRam3. And like I said, I hope this reaches you well. Have a blessed day. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.